So, hello dear people. Here I present you with a picture. I showed my dear friend that I'm still alive, that I'm in one piece and doing good. As you can check on the puffing stuff in my mouth and the can of coffee.
Hello, we have day 5 after the last incident. This was the failure of the tripod map system on the border of the Cuban country of Cuba. We proceeded. We were able to get a couple things done. We have here a very urgent thing. This is going to be the drum for the new furling system combined with the tubes, plastic tubes. There's the upper part and here's the lower part. Where we will be able to furl in the Genoa, which is very, very important at this territory. Here you can see the new mast system. This is a single mast. It's reinforced lateral with T-spar, and it's gonna have the old rolls, the old lighting so to speak, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We're gonna hoist it tomorrow. A couple locals were very kind and said to support me on that because it needs to be stabilized on the lateral side so it doesn't fall over. Here you see the old position of the mast, which is gonna be also the new position. I took this bracket from that position, transferred it to this position, then appeared epoxy into the gaps because it got a couple of gaps. As the frontal leg went down, it got a couple cracks, but it's still solid enough. Very good. So it's going to be the support for the old frontal leg, which is the new mast also. Here we have two bolts. One bolt is here, one bolt is there, and on the side we have the wooden panels. See them? These are like that, so it's solidly held in all directions, and also it cannot take off and nothing, so it's really glued into its position. I'm gonna whack it with an axe or so when I demount it somewhere. Exactly, the mast is the old frontal leg. It got major structural damages at its old dissection, at the old division section. This was here. I cut it apart, some maybe 1 meter. See, I hurt my foot, so I created some interim bandage. So I cut about 1 foot lower, and cut it about 1 foot lower. Now it's about 8.5 meters long. It's very close to the original mast, but the main is that I put this big 2x4 T-spar in it, so it's now very solid. I hoisted somewhat so you can see. It's also on the lateral side now way better, way more stable, which I require. You see that? It doesn't move. It's a little bit more heavy, but it doesn't move anymore so much. So this should then get us hopefully to Mexico. This is the news on Tuesday, 5th day after this crash.
So here you can see MON RêVE with her new mast system. The old bracket, the frontal leg bracket, now at the old mast position of the original mast position, the aluminum mast. And this frontal leg got modified in its length and turned 180 degree. So we now have the back looking actually forward and the old forward looking back. This has to do with the new functionality of this mast system. All the sails you can see now from the top view. I played with that around, of course, and set them up as good as I could theoretically, because CAD is only theory. It's very important to know. No matter how beautiful this looks, it's only theoretical, and then has to be built in reality. So this is then where real learning starts, when you get stuff done and get your feedback out of this real world.
I guys, we're here in beautiful Cuba, Varadero, and we managed to redo the sail propulsion system. I hope that I could raise a thing I call the Cuban rig, which requires actually 2 poles made of steel or ideally of aluminum or very good of carbon. But due to the material restrictions at the local site, this is unfortunately impossible at this moment in time. Right now we have redone, we have redone a single mast system because I designed it, I constructed it, and then it got even reinforced with the recommendation of a local person. Now let's have a look on the new mast system. When we check from the front to the end, you find it's obvious, hey, this guy has only one mast. This goes up and it hopefully works, but it looks very good. We have 2 side stays, no spreader, so I must be very careful in order not to over tense it. So a safe, a healthy reefing strategy should get me through this. Then we have the front stay and the classic 2 back stays with which you then reach the top where all forces are supposed to attack. Only one sail, which I'll also hoist as a Genoa, but at the position of the old main, without a boom and anything, is gonna be attacking at this point in the back. This is then the only one which will stress the old support of the frontal leg of the tripod, where this whole mast system rests on at the time. Then in the future I'll redo it as a Cuban rig because this is way easier than the classical tripod which I did, with the tripod system which I did. And the Cuban will be a bipod where we now have the side stays. And with this bipod and 1 frontal stay and 2 back stays, I should be able to pull off all the sail configurations I require and still have the free space on deck, which I love so much and which I appreciate so much. With this Cuban rig, for sure, a more stable sailing future will be created. Because I spare on the single mast, I spare on the side stays, I just have these bipod things and can, of course, span then the hammock I also love very much, and use the whole deck space for my convenience. I should also mention, the hoisting, the mast now has a little more than 100 kilograms. I thought it would be easy, 1 person could do it with a little smarts, but it would be safer to have 2 persons. Finally, we were 4 persons, 3 local people and myself, hoisting this very heavy mast, in fact, though it's quite light, much lighter than the original mast. Hoisted it with many ideas, with many tools which we created, like a cross, a wooden cross, and created this cross and reinforced it with screws and all that. And finally managed to get it successfully raised in a somewhat acceptable position, straight up and everything, and reinforced it and everything. Without these people, this wouldn't have been possible. Without this support, this great support, this would not have been possible. So the many friends I made on this place, I'm very grateful for. Because only when you're in deep trouble you know who's your true friend, who helps you, who supports you, who's selfless, who just gives when you're in the need of receipt. So if one of you people see this, many thanks to you. I will be more than glad to come back, hopefully not in distress anymore, but relaxed and enjoy my time with you. So, this is Ronald with sailing vessel MON RêVE on June 2nd, 2023 in Cuba, Varadero.
Póngase como se ponga, su cerebro